everybody, and how exciting is this for me? Tyriq Withers is here. The star of Him, which is coming out on the 19th, September 19th. I did get a chance to see it, so I'm not going to give anything away that's not in the trailer. But congratulations.
Thank you.
This is an amazing starring role for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is on my mind. Like, I'm way up. I feel blessed.
That's
I had to say that.
That is the song I named the show after.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel blessed. Well, I'm blessed to be here. So
Yay. Well, we're blessed to have you. Thank you for that. That's definitely who I got the idea for the name of the show. Because people kept thinking it was like, I'm all the way up. Because I'm from New York. But I did, it was a combination. But yes.
Yeah, you're from Brooklyn?
Yes, I'm from Brooklyn. You're from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Florida, 904, in and out of Chicago. So, I'm the only one from my family from Jacksonville. So I'm Florida boy, not Florida man. Big difference.
No, yeah, there's a big difference.
Big difference.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I know you've been in other things, but one episode of you that I love, of course, is the Atlanta episode.
Yeah.
Listen, the Wigga episode.
Yes. That was a iconic episode. I actually went to, if you know what the episode's about, it's about a white passing mix kid trying to get into college off of a first generation African American scholarship. And I actually went to Florida State off of a first generation African American scholarship.
You did?
Yeah, except Dr. Tadero Stark. Shout out to Dr. Stark. He actually gave me the scholarship. So
that's amazing.
He didn't put me through no weird interview process.
I want to say, looking back at that now and how things are being like rolled back and there's no there's no affirmative action, DEI. They're trying to get rid of all types of programs for people to be able to go to college. And, that episode is even more interesting now, I think, just because of the timing of what's going on in this country.
And I think that's a testament to Donald Glover. Like he has the finger on the pulse of the culture, and he's telling stories that, my sister, she was studying at Stanford, and they had to break the episode down and analyze it in a mixed race politics class, and it just caught me off guard because she just sent me a picture of the auditorium, and then she asked if I could do a little Zoom interview.
Let her go on ahead and get her props for right. Oh, as a matter of fact, my brother's in that.
Absolutely.
It's also just an interesting conversation because I'm also mixed, right? I'm half Chinese and half black, and some people will tell me I can't identify as black because of that, and or they'll act like because you're mixed, you're not. It's just such a weird thing to me because I feel like my whole life I've grown up and known I was black. And then there'll be people that tell you how you should identify.
Exactly. It's that my whole life has been the identity search. And I just kind of talk about it in terms of like a cafeteria. We never know which table to sit at. So I'm white and black. So you're never white enough, you're never black enough, and I didn't have any table to sit at. And I think what Donald Glover did with that episode, he created my own table to just sit down and own my blackness. And yes, I definitely acknowledge my privilege in that, the white privilege of it all. And I think that's the essence of that film, and even going into him. Oh yeah,
he called you. What did you call you? A big light skin.
Yellowbone.
Yeah. That was
George Wallace. That was George Wallace, and he just improv. And it's like I keep working with comedians. And I love it because
I love them making fun of me.
Yeah, I love them making fun of me. It was Kevin saying it was George Wallace, and they in that Atlanta episode, and they just got to really lean in. And Donald Glover was throwing things out. He was telling me, "Can you do the electric slide? Can you do this? Can you do that?" But yeah, even on this film, working with 3 comedians with Marlon Wayans, Tim Heidecker, and Jim Jeffries, and he's Australian, and the Australians are a whole different level of funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, but I wanted to talk about that because you actually got casted as the lead in Him, and that was based off of being on that episode of Atlanta.
Yeah, that episode got me in the room. So Carmen Cuba, who's really good friends with Donald Glover, reached out to my team while I was shooting a film in Serbia to meet me, and she was very coy about it and didn't really tell me what it was about. She's let's just have a conversation, and it was like a 2-hour conversation about grief, identity, loss, and by the end of that conversation, I'm crying, she's crying, and I'm working in Serbia at the time, so I'm 2 a.m.
Serbia is wild. That's
it was it's insane, but I love Serbia. We shot in Belgrade, but I had to finish a whole workday to meet Carmen Cuba, and then I had a cool meeting with Monkey Paw and to talk about the script and why I resonated with the script.
And that's Jordan Peele's company.
Jordan Peele's company, Monkey Paw. And it was a whole process while I was shooting a film. Everything was on Zoom, and they asked me if I could throw a football. And You know, I did what anytime as an actor they ask you if you can do something, you're like, yeah, I can do it. I figured it out because I play wide receiver.
Yeah,
and you
did play football.
Yeah, you don't really have the mechanics of it. So, and then it took like a week to find a football, and then I got the.
Wait, you had to find a football in Serbia.
In Serbia, you know how hard it is to find an American football.
That's funny.
In Serbia, so yeah, I asked the director on his off day to film like a highlight tape of me throwing a football.
You got the director to film you throwing?
Yeah, we're good homies now, but
like I know you have an off day, but I just need you to do me.
Yeah, he shot it. He was like, "We're gonna punch in here. We're gonna pull out wide. We're gonna transition. We're gonna swipe here."
That's good. That's great. I love that because he wanted to see you win too, even if it was on another project.
Yeah, he was familiar with the script. And, you know, I had one of the PAs play my wide receiver. Shout out Max Kim.
It takes a village, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it takes a village. So, yeah.
Well, and I know that you did play, like you said, you did play football. You also played football at Florida State, right?
Yeah, Florida State.
But you said, and I saw an interview that you did, I think it was with Tierra Whack.
Yeah.
Where you said that you did not feel like you just loved it enough.
Yeah.
To want to pursue it in the way to become professional at it. So it's kind of interesting that you end up in this movie where the whole goal is you love it so much that you want to become the GOAT and you're willing to risk even your own life. Yeah. You know, in the very beginning, you have a head injury, and I know that's in the summary of what happens in the movie.
Yeah.
A crazy fan hits you over the head.
Yep.
And literally, like, not taking time to heal could have cost you your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when I gave up football, it was a real awakening for me because I like going back into the identity crisis. I got to go to college and really decide who I wanted to be as a person, and I never felt fulfilled playing sports, like because you kind of burn out. I played sports at such a high level for so long, and you know, who was I playing sports for? You know, and I was trying to prove something to my mom, you know, or you know, to other coaches. And it was a pivotal time in my life because I was like, who is Tyriq? And the first ever Black Student Union play at Florida State announced some auditions. And I decided to turn that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air scene where he's like, how come you don't love me, man? About his dad. I turned that into a monologue.
Wow.
And I auditioned, and that was the journey of like self-discovery because I got involved on campus. Diversity and Inclusion Institute, I became assistant director for, or executive board for the Black Student Union, or mentor for high school students in the surrounding county to help guide them into Florida State.
That's great.
And so that was a more holistic experience for me, and I was on a path of learning empathy and sympathy, and I think that did so much for me as a creative because it taught me the human experience rather than being in theater school and going to like vocal lessons and whatnot.
How was it when you decided to walk away from football? Because like you said, you had been playing at such a high level, and I'm sure you're like, am I playing for my mom? But how did everybody around you feel about that decision? Because sometimes people feel like, what if you change your mind? Now you've walked away from something where it's at the prime of when you should be really focused on it.
Yeah, I think I just kind of muted all the outside noise because, you know, at the end of the day, I have to lay my head on that pillow, and I have to wake up. And those workouts were crazy. You had work out at like 5 a.m., and then I have class at 7, and I'm a walk-on, so I don't get a golf cart to class. I have to sweat and ride my bike.
You have to literally walk on.
Yes, you literally have to walk to class, do a full day of classes, 2:15 p.m. meeting, team meeting. You have position meeting, and then you have another meeting, and then you have practice, and you have recovery, and I don't have a tutor. I'm a walk-on, so I have to get good grades. But yeah, it was a process, and what it was like to give it up. It's grief, you know, and it's a form of grief because this thing that I put value in for so long, I have to give it up, and I'm still going through those emotions of letting go. And I think the beauty of me finding this script was me saying kind of goodbye.
You don't have to let it go all the way.
All the way, you know, but like
the skills that you had already, I mean, it helped you so much in this role of a, you know, number one seeded football player.
Yeah, I really had to train, and I think that's the fun part. I got to like really dive into the the quarterback training process.
Training did not look so fun in this movie.
Oh yeah, no. But I was bleeding football while making this movie, and I like would wake up. You know those nightmares when you do something so much, you're like, why can't I? And I like that dream where you try to fight and you can't throw a punch.
Yeah.
I had that, but throwing a football.
Wow.
And I was training with Jordan Palmer, who's a NFL level coach, training like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and I got to train with Joe Milton, who just got into the league like 2 years ago. So yeah, it was humbling. You show up and you're like, I know y'all do this for real.
I'm acting.
I'm an actor, and I was just like,
I'm acting.
I approached it in a humble way, you know.
Did it make you feel like, man, maybe I need to get back in it?
Yeah, low key. When I got a crispy throw, I was like, you know, you can go walk on somewhere.
The story is also about being a black quarterback too, because that's a whole thing here. You know, obviously, football is like the number one sport here in the United States. Yeah, and the black quarterback, that's always like a conversation that like we want to support the black quarterback because it feels like that's a position that is still kind of you know, it's a very polarizing thing. Yeah,
and I think times are changing, and we start to see the talent go into the quarterback position, and that's why I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, you know, Florida boy. But yeah, I think it's iconic to see that shift, and you know, knowing Marlon Wayans, the way he presented himself in this character, I think it's cool because you know the majority of NFL players are black men, so it was an honor to hold light to that in this sense.
How is Marlon Wayans training? I got to ask that because he don't come from playing football when he was younger, but he did an amazing job. I mean, he was in shape. When I saw him, you know, showing his guns off, I was like, all right, you know, we're used to scrawny Marlon Wayans now. Look at him.
No, his training, I'm half his age. But it didn't feel like
that. Put that out there.
You know, I don't tell him this, but like it felt like I was training with somebody my age,
right.
And he locked in on the physical aspect, but I've never seen somebody work out like that tough but still be yapping. Like he just yaps through a workout, you know what I'm saying? So everything's a joke to him no matter how hard the workout is. But yeah, it was a friendly, healthy competition, you know, trying to you know, who can lift the most weight, who can run the fastest.
So who was winning those competitions?
You know, I don't think that we need to answer those questions.
Okay, you did? Okay.
You know, it's me. You know, I'm kidding.
How much ad-libbing happened on there, too? Because those scenes, when I tell you those scenes, when people watch this movie, for anybody who is, even if you're not like a huge football fan, because I'm not the type of person that sits at home and watches football. So I was watching this movie and I was like, whew. We already know that like the training to become the GOAT and to become quote unquote him is intense. It's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. And in a way, it kind of feels like you have to turn off your emotions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like there was like a lot of ad-libbing. And I think with a story like this, you have to like live in that world. And shout out to our director, Justin Tippin. He just allowed that freedom. And, you know, Marlon Wayans is untethered in this film, and the things he would say. I wish they would do a reel of all the stuff Marlon
Maybe they will.
said. Hopefully, I would pay prime dollar to see that because like you just didn't know what he was going to say. I broke multiple times. He broke the crew, and I think that's the beauty of working with Marlon, where he's not afraid of anything. He's gonna if he's gonna fail, he's gonna fail 100%. But nothing he did failed. But yeah, it was you didn't know what type of Marlon you'd get. Him and Justin had their little secrets going before they start a scene, like Justin giving him ideas.
So there were things you didn't even know was going to happen.
Yeah. There's so many things that like we've talked about. Where there's one time where he was yelling at me, but I wasn't like allowing him to affect me. And you know, I had this like vest on, and I believe in a happy trail. Like so, I kept my happy trail. He was like always like, why? He was like, ew, shave that. Like take it off. And I'm like, no, it adds layers to the character. It's a choice, you know, as an actor.
Okay,
like,
you're just talking about as an actor.
It's a choice.
I thought you were talking about in real life.
No, well, in real life too. I'm just saying. But yeah, he was angry at me, and then he just tries to, like, in the middle of a scene, he grabs my happy trail hair and yanks it, and then grabs it like this, and I stayed in.
He pulled your hair out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's too far.
No. It was like, but it was like the freedom. Like I think when you have a healthy relationship with your co-star, you can just. let's go there. You know what I'm saying? And like nothing, there was very few things off limits,
So in the movie, you really look up to him, like your character. He's like, but he's also the person that you're about to replace, just so people know. So you go to train with him. You guys filmed this at a NASA station? I read somewhere.
Like some aircraft warehouse in Albuquerque, and it was like really cold in the mornings, and then really hot during the day when the sun got up. So yeah, it was some empty warehouse they had to clear out.
Ooh, I can imagine going somewhere and they tell you, okay, you're not going to have your phone.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you check in, they take your phone from you and you can't.
What do they call it? Radical detachment?
Yeah, radical detachment. Yeah. Have you ever tried that?
During this film, I went radical detachment on like carbs. Carbs.
That's a different deal. Yeah. Because you had to really
and social
train,
media. Social media. I was just honed in on the performance and getting things right. So I think the radical detachment, I've never done it to that level where you like took my phone. I would never let anybody take my phone.
Yeah, we're in that day and age now. We leave the house without the phone. We feel naked. Like, exactly. I don't know what I got to go home.
Exactly.
As I'm thinking about all of this and like, what you said about radical detachment from carbs, because the focus is very much on your body also in this movie. And that is so true about any type of athlete. Like your body is really a commodity. And that's part of the theme of this as well. Like just being able to push yourself to the limit, do things that you never thought that you could do before. And part of it is also like, this does show you how brutal football is, because I think that's a real conversation that people have been having for so long. What do you think football fans are going to think about this when they see it? Because it is such a and obviously it's just a movie, but it also is like, it was very intense.
I think that's the loneliness of being an athlete too, like bigger than football, where it's like, you are only as good as your body will allow you, and you can push it and push it. One of my favorite receivers, we seen Odell Beckham Jr., like really, who's one of the most iconic receivers, but his body playing on turf just couldn't keep up, his ACL. So I think that's the loneliness of it, because you can want to be the greatest of all time, and I know many players who they had knee injuries just because like they train so much and they can't help it. And so, I think I pray that any athlete who watches this feels seen. I think they're going to enjoy the level of intensity that we brought to the sport of football and the respect we brought. And I tried to be honest and truthful in that. And, I think it's a testament to somebody just trying to reach that level of greatness. Right.
What was the hardest scene for you to film? Because like we said, this, a lot of training, a lot of...
So I think the hardest scene for me, I'm going through the movie, like watching the movie in my head.
If you were like, this was a tough day.
Yeah, tough day. I say, do you remember the Last Supper scene?
The Last Supper scene.
Where I was talking about my father who passed away.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was a tough one. Because of the subject matter, my character's talking about his father who passed away. And, I think a lot, like I carry grief with me. Justin Tippin carries grief, Marlon carries grief. And, I went into that scene thinking it was just like me talking to reporters about my dad. Right. And I was like, it's going to be a great day.
Really pouring your heart out.
Yeah. And then, Justin was like, hey, like, I want you to go there, like unload the clip on this scene. You know what I'm saying? Like just put it all out there. And I was like, you want me to do what? And I think as a man, you're not taught vulnerability. And I think this is what this scene is about, is athletes go through so much and we forget they're humans. They are mosaics of their past experience and the trauma, the good, the bad. And, just because they play professional sports or sports at a high level doesn't take from that. And, having that healthy conversation with Justin, I shoot the scene and it's not there. It's not authentic. And I never force emotion, and it has to come from a real place. And Justin just had a real conversation, like what this scene meant to him. And he lost his dad, and I realized that that was this scene. This movie is a love letter to his father. Right. As this movie, I feel like, is a love letter to my brother, my older brother who passed, and for Marlon, his parents. And I think that level of empathy was pushed onto me. And yeah, it pushed me to a place where it pushed me into a real place. And what you see on that screen, it isn't acting, because I just was able to really, really feel where Cameron was coming from with that grief, and part of that was improv and me talking to my brother, you know, and that it was just emotionally taxing. But in a healthy way.
Right.
And when Justin was telling me about his dad, when I finished, he was like, "Thank you. So many athletes are going to be able to look at this and feel seen." And, you know, something I've been watching recently is tennis, and I see Coco Gauff.
Yeah.
And she has emotion on the court, and it's so beautiful to watch because she's such a dominant player. She is a human being.
Yeah, she's a human. And we see, like, when Naomi Osaka was like, I have to step away for a while.
Exactly.
And sometimes, and then people will act like she's like a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
You know,
like
because of it.
You have to protect the mental, because if your mental's not, like, there, like, your body can't follow and you can't perform. And then people have their opinions about how you perform. What is this? What is that? And it's just... It's exhausting. So yeah, that scene was one that I hope people really resonate with.
Yeah, it was a very emotional, and the acting was like top tier. So now that when I see it in the theaters,
yeah,
it'll be. I think I'll connect and resonate with that scene
and
even more.
That scene was a journey because we were like next to an aircraft place. I don't know, it wasn't an airport, but mid tears and snot, all you hear is like a plane fly over, and so I had to like stop and like stay in it and then wait for the sound, and then pick back up where I left off. And so it was some obstacles during that film. I mean that scene. So yeah.
Ooh, listen, people are going to love this so much. It looks like, and I'm looking at early predictions, but they are expecting it's going to be the #1 movie.
Your lips to God's ears.
Listen, that's what it's saying. Even from the low end to the high end, it's looking like a #1 film. Yeah. How does it feel to be in, you know, it's not there yet, but it's going to happen. So how does that feel for you, knowing that you're about to be in a #1 box office?
Wow, that's you. Ooh, Lord, have mercy. Lord. Yeah, it's a blessing. You know, at the end of the day, it's about did I go out there and give it my all, and did I come from a real place? And I think that's what I'm chasing, is art that heals me, so I can heal others. You know, James Baldwin talks about that, and I think I'm blessed, and no matter what this film does, I hope people can watch it and really, really feel where we're coming from. So,
you have, even though your career in TV and film has not been that long, you've had some, like, I think, iconic moments already. So, and this one in particular, when people see this, it's a whole nother level. And so congratulations to you. I think they did a great job on casting you for it. You did an amazing job. Marlon Wayans was absolutely, like, I've never seen a Marlon Wayans.
We actually had to do a fight scene for my audition. I had to fight Marlon Wayans. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Fight for it.
We need to see that footage in that case. Do you watch horror movies?
Yeah, I do. Not a lot, but it's weird how they found me. But I think horror is so iconic because you have to watch it with people. You don't have to watch it with people, but you enjoy it best when you have a group, because, you know, some things
you want to be scared together.
Be scared together. You know, like I'm a big baby. I get scared really easy. So yeah, that's what I love about it, and it's escapism, and it delivers messages in organic ways that has you thinking, especially a Jordan Peele film. And this one's produced by Jordan Peele, and you know, Justin Tippin took the baton and really pushed it over that line to keep that creativity alive. And I think it's scary, both like literally but also figuratively, and it has you thinking after you see the film.
What did you think the first time you watched it after you were done, when it was in final cut?
I went nonverbal. I was processing it all. I got to watch it with Marlon and his family. They were like, "Oh, you get +1 to see the screening." Marlon brought his whole family. He had +20.
It's a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this premiere. How many tickets he got to the premiere? Did he get more than me? He probably got double my tickets.
Oh, he's got more than that.
Yeah, he definitely got more than me, which is okay. But yeah, it was like a roller coaster. You know, I talk about how it was a very hypnotic experience, because you're like, you shoot this thing and you know what you've done, but when it comes together in the post-production, it's beautifully like crafted, and from the sound design to the music to the cinematography to the set design. And yeah, it was like going into it for a roller coaster. I'm like, please, hopefully I'm good in it, you know, and you just get lost in the story. And finishing it, you know, when you get off the roller coaster, you're like, I want to get back on and ride again and again. And so I wanted to see it again. I've only seen it once.
Wow. Did you critique yourself a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. But you felt like you did a great job, because you did.
Well, yeah, I'm proud of the work that I did.
Certain parts I couldn't even look at.
Yeah,
so there's some gory things in there, guys. There's that machine, just so you know, with the footballs. It's like wheels. I was like, I can't even look at this. It was so disgusting.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. But yeah, I started to realize, like, I can't, when I'm critiquing myself, I tell myself it's exactly what it needed to be at that time. And if I were to do that same movie now, it wouldn't be the same movie, you know? And this movie found me at such a iconic place where I'm at in my career. It's kind of like where Cameron Cade is in his career, where you get this major opportunity and you want to perform not only for yourself, but, like, you know, my nephew has to eat, you know, like, I'm trying to put him through private school, give him an experience that me and my brother didn't get. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up here. I know you have a really tight schedule, but with the movie you were filming in Serbia, was that Reminders of Him?
No, that was Family Secrets. That hasn't come out yet. I shot Reminders of Him in Calgary, Canada, and that comes out.
I was just like, all these him things, right? Reminders of Him.
The Him Cinematic Universe. Yeah, so that's. I only do movies with him in the title. That's in my contract.
You are him.
That's in my contract. You have to switch the title up. So yeah, and you have a coffee shop.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I gotta stop by.
Oh, please. We would love to have
coffee
you. Like anytime.
People.
Yeah, Coffee Uplifts people. Look at you doing your research.
Yeah, I do my research. I love
like
coffee.
That. You do?
Yeah, that's all I could drink when I was working out. The water
coffee,
and
black
coffee.
Just black coffee. I knew you were going to say black coffee.
I'm obsessed with black coffee now.
Okay, I got you. If you make sure you guys get some so you can have some and drink the coffee. I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Tyriq Withers. Guys, make sure you check out the movie Him, September 19th. Yeah. Go see it in theaters, okay? Because I had to watch it on my little laptop. Yeah, it was amazing there. I can't even imagine now what it's going to be like.
IMAX.
On the IMAX, there it is.
IMAX.
Yeah.
And then go see it again.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Again.
And those are the theaters also where you get to sit back in your comfortable seats, order food, although you might not be able to eat the food because of some of the scenes that you're going to see here, but, you know.
No texting during the movie.
No texting during the movie. They're going to take your phones. Radical detachment.
See? We should have them standing at the door taking phones.
No, don't do that. People are horrified by that.
Yeah. That is wild. That is wild.
All right. Well, Tyriq, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's way up.